Looks like you got some sun.
Yeah,
oh, you're at the golf tournament
today.
today.
So we're starting off here with our round 3 feature match. We've got 2 players who are 1-1. Adam Vickers, the local legend on the right, playing his Gruul Aggro deck that he piloted to second place of our 40-man Modern Masters Winnabox tournament a couple weekends ago.
Falling short to Junk Aristocrats.
Junk Aristocrats, yeah. And his opponent, Justin Carpenter, who's playing Gruul as well, but his deck is much more invested in the higher end. While he does still have aggressive creatures like Flint-Hook Boar. And I believe he's playing that Colonian Tusker.
The 3/3?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm fine with that. There's a Flint-Hook Boar, which is going to get Searing Speared.
The other 2-mana 3/3.
Boom! Nailed it. Searing Spear clears the way for Stromkirk. He's going to get in for 2 this time. He now has a Stromkirk that can trade in combat with 3/3s. Yeah, Justin's deck is playing Domries. Justin, he hasn't been playing as long. He's been playing as long, but he just recently got back into Standard, so his deck is still kind of like a good stuff deck as he figures out what he really wants to be playing. But
Markers on the label.
And Adam just passes back here. So likely a fistful of burn spells. Which is, I don't know how excited I am when my opponent passes back with 2 mountains and a burn deck.
Or you could have green cards.
You could have Rancors. There's a Gore Clan Rampager cast the hard way. There's another mountain. No Boros Reckoner. So Vickers must have a hand of all green cards.
Whoever Badgins 22 is no longer allowed to chat.
I think Chaz may have gotten him.
He is the Dragon Tamer.
So Domri comes down, misses on the activation, but Searing Spear is going to take him down to 1. The Pillar is going to finish him off, I imagine. No, another Searing Spear. So Adam won the 3 Searing Spear draws, but normally not. Yeah, normally not in the. This is not normally how you draw it up with the burn deck. Is to use.
Well, there's Scotty Mac again, just chilling.
I had to. I'll admit to having not noticed exactly how tedious that guy, or how annoying that guy had been.
Coming in with the Gore Clan and pumping it.
And just because
not afraid of the 1 damage from the Stromkirk.
Just because I know people will comment on the YouTube videos, I'll go ahead and address it. Justin, when he was moving his cards around, accidentally knocked the top card off his deck, and since he saw what it was, he told Adam he's going to put it on the bottom, which is perfectly fine at the FNM level.
Proper FNM procedure.
Yeah. No known information. I keep thinking he's tapping 6 mana to cast something, and I'm like, what does he have that casts 6? Oh, and I do know what he has that costs 6, Rurikthar, out of the sideboard, because Justin unfortunately learned what the legend rule was several weeks ago.
Yes, I was there for that.
There's a Hellrider, which unfortunately is on blocking duty. How cruel is it in the deck where you have to leave your Hellrider back to block? Is it still lethal here?
What's Vickers at?
3.
Yeah,
he can pump for 3, make 7, block with 4. So it's exactly he's a 2/2 Stromkirk, so he'd live at 1.
So he's dead to a land.
He's dead to a land. He's dead to a burn spell.
It's a land.
Yeah, I don't think Justin realized that he was dead, or he had him. I guarantee you there wasn't a slow roll. Is what I mean.
And he wasn't going pretty slow with it.
Yeah, I don't think.
And he's, just like the most arrogant guy ever. I'm sure he was out there like, hey, Vickers, guess what I got in my hand? You realize that I can pump for 3?
Garrett,
on board?
Garrett, I can't help but denote a certain amount of sarcasm.
What's this? Is this a... Oh, it's a land.
Burn. So, looks like Justin is bringing in... Well, I thought he was bringing in the pile that he just put to the side, which had Electrickery in it, which I don't think is that good.
He saw 2 Stromkirk Nobles, so he might...
Well, that's why I was concerned about him bringing it in, because I
did
think...
you see a Forest? No, Vickers never played a Forest. I think he's playing against.
I think they played in weeks prior. Vickers has been on. Justin's been here the last few months, and
but
Vickers.
Trickery's so good against like Joseph Deal's deck. You might think that. He's on
Yeah, of course, Joseph
like
Deal is playing the Mono Red Blitz deck, which plays like. I think there's Unleashed Cacklers and Burning Tree Emissaries are the only non-one power, one toughness creatures in his entire deck. Meanwhile, Vickers is bringing in I don't know what. Not Burning Earth. This is not the matchup where you want the Burning Earth.
I'm still trying to work on that Burning Earth Blood Moon combo deck.
It's not very good, I would think. What would be the best is if you would play it, is if you would first slam the Burning Earth, and then your opponent would just be like completely downtrodden by the fact that they know they can't beat this card. And the next turn you're like, now I've really got you. Slamming Blood Moon. All the reds. I used to play a Blood Moon in my Goblins EDH deck because it was just fun to have that and the Mountain Walk Lord and just never have to worry about blocks. But then sometimes when I wanted to cast black cards, because I'm playing Warp Boggart Ante, I really hated the Blood Moon.
Right.
So I took it out.
Well, you have a lot of ways to destroy enchantments in red.
Huh?
So you have a lot of ways to destroy enchantments in red.
You got one. Chaos Warp. Chaos Warp. Chaos Warp is one of those cards that, to segue briefly into Commander Corner, if you're playing a red Commander deck and you don't have Chaos Warp in it, you have made a critical error. It's one of those cards like Oblation that's like, it's the best answer to a lot of things, especially in a mono red deck when it's the only answer you have to a lot of things. And it's never dead because you can do it on your own permanence for like value.
Funsies.
Many a time I have Chaos Warped in my Mael deck. I have Chaos Warped a basic land on turn 100 just to try and get some like It That Betrays or something fun. It's very fun to do that.
I was thinking about working on a new commander deck and Zur, which would get a lot of stuff from my Burden deck. But then I don't want to tutor.
Zur is most of the broken EDH decks usually have Zur as the commander. A lot of times
I don't want to be the guy where you played something.
Mm-hmm.
We tutor for it.
A lot of times if Zur gets to attack, you just win that game. Interesting discussion in the chat going on about the new Chandra. Scotty Mac saying that he may or may not be having a tour d'affaire with the new Chandra. I will admit to having dismissed the new Chandra almost wholesale when it came out, and it appears to be at least slightly better than I thought it was.
I think it's equal power level. It's obviously not the same card, but I think it's equal power level to the M12 Chandra.
The Firebrand.
It can give you one more advantage, and it can take care of one toughness creatures or help your burn spells take care of a larger toughness creature.
Yeah, I think it's just it's a card that has a niche home. If you can really take advantage of that +1 in order to falter something, or like to ping.
It's really good out of the sideboards of the green red decks.
And it's mostly coming in out of the sideboards of the green red decks at the Star City events, isn't it? It's not really a main deck card, or
it's coming
it's
in because
fringe play as a main deck
control, like they bring in Renounce the Goats for your Domries.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do against your Chandras? It takes up to 5. You can't Helix it.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, and it's never a dead card. I mean, the card advantage that it gets by effectively drawing the top card of your deck is enormous against. I mean, you look at a card like Garrick Relentless is a card they bring the decks bring in against control, and literally all it does in most games is just make Grizzly Bears.
Right.
And that's more than enough. It's just the incremental card advantage that you get.
Esper can't beat that. Esper can't.
I mean, they're drawing to X number of D spheres and O-rings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scotty's saying that the falter effect is what people are.
The best home for it that isn't being used right now is like a curve of Imposing Sovereign, Geist of Saint Trash, Chandra.
We saw Aaron Daly's playing that Mono White Humans deck, and like he beat Scotty playing Aristocrats basically because he had Imposing Sovereign. Also, Riders of Gavany naming Spirits was pretty good too. It's very much something you would have appreciated.
I've never played a Riders Academy.
Only every time possible. Mountain Walk, yeah.
Mountain Walk, you got a forest, still gonna slam it.
Well, the thing that's crucial here is that he now has a 4/4 Stromkirk Noble.
That's gonna get Missing Mortar.
No, he didn't play a mountain. Yeah, if he gets Missing Mortars, that's pretty good, but instead he played, is that the Tusker, the 3/3?
Like Tusker, yeah.
And I'm just doing a quick check to make sure that it wasn't a 4/4 for some reason. But what I would say, other than Missing Mortars, like that's the only card in Justin's deck that can effectively deal with this situation, short of Domri.
He's now on Blood Rush one of my guys to Gorkon Clan Rampager, fight it with Domri.
Because we've moved out of Mortar's range?
Yes.
Why didn't he block there? Well, he's found his
just to try to draw Mortars.
Can Adam kill him next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Blood Rush. Blood Rush is 9. No, he's one short of a...
Did he play his own Mountain Walk, look like?
Yes, he played his own Volcanic Strength, yeah.
So we got dueling 5/5s.
Adam's going to win this race, though.
Right.
But back to that discussion about the Chandra, is like I think that like the falter ability is just drawing the card off the top of your deck because it's so like variance based. It's like I don't think that's good enough by itself. But if you like Scotty's saying, if you can build a deck that can also take advantage of the you can't block my whatever.
Right.
Like that's like the home for it. And in that regard, I think it's fine. It's just not the kind of card that the Planeswalker that everybody wants, like Elspeth or Jace or whatever, that just goes in X colored deck.
It's hard to follow up Koth as your mono red Planeswalker.
Yeah. Yeah, Koth was, but even Koth, like Koth only went in one deck. You know, people want a red Planeswalker that just goes in any red deck, and there are a lot of red decks right now. I mean, John and Nye are both huge, and there's lots of builds for all of them, but they're not mono red decks. You know, they just want something that's is on the same power level as like a Garruk a Garruk Relentless you just put in any green deck because it's good enough. It's like the third pump fake that Justin's done. Nugya.
Post-combat Domri. +1 whiff. So if he's at 8...
Burn spell will do it.
One creature, obviously good enough for Vickers here.
So it's on 6, so in this situation, Justin's dead to Gorkling Rampager, Searing Spear, Pillar. Is he dead to Pillar? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Really fast.
Yeah, he's got a burn spell of some sort. Rampager, yeah. That game was it's remarkable how fast that game was over, but how much it could have changed dramatically with one Mizzy Mortars.
We saw...
How different is that game?
We saw a total of 2 creatures get played.
How different is that game play if he chumps with his Colombian Tusker?
And draws to Mortars? You didn't have it. I don't think jumping was the right...
Spikemo making an appearance.
Yeah, I don't think
Boston
jumping was the right play there. You have a guy that tramples, and he's going to get through every turn anyway.
But the Volcanic Strength doesn't give trample.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have killed if it was a 4.
I was thinking the Tusker had trample. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's right. I mean, he obviously didn't play another creature, so...
Because even if you play another creature, like, you can't block. That was my original premise. So you just don't play Mountain and keep jumping.
Cubs in the chat saying he wants a Planeswalker with a +1 Lightning Bolt, to which Scotty commented that that's fine, it will just cost 7. Just Karn with a +1 Lightning Bolt.
I might play a certain Rouse Eric deck tomorrow.
Grixis?
Thinking about it. I don't know what I'm going to play tomorrow.
I would suggest playing Magic.
Well,
at the Star City Games Invitational Qualifier, hosted here at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. With the winner receiving $250 in cold hard cash. We were going to bring in the lukewarm soft cash, but turns out people are more interested in the cold hard cash.
Feels good on your nipples.
Well, I was hoping we wouldn't get to that point, but I cannot be responsible for... Oh, now, I was only going to bring up the camera, not because, for those of you who are unfamiliar, this is a good opportunity to check out the patented Adam Vickers 6-into-1 pile shuffle, where it starts as 6 piles, and then by the end of it, it's just one big pile. Of course, I showed this one, and then it's like, this one's actually... Now, there it goes. See, there's no piles left. They all overlap. And then he just jams it all together.
That's the bite your sleeves.
Yes, yes. He just buys them by the truck. The case is not enough. He burns through them too quickly. Just buys them by the pallets. It's interesting, this deck, like we did talk about when we had our, that big Modern Masters Winter Box tournament. Adam did come in second of 40 out of that event with this Gruul deck, losing to, as you mentioned, Junk Aristocrats, which seems like a matchup that he's got to be a huge underdog in.
He lost to it again tonight.
Yeah, but this Gruul Aggro deck is one of those decks, and especially piloted by someone like Vickers who plays it well, because sequencing is obviously very important in this deck. It's one of those decks that if you just kind of like sit on it and don't prepare for this speed level of a deck,
right,
you're going to get whitewashed. You know what I mean? It's that kind of deck that just keeps people honest. Doesn't show up all the time. I know it's getting a little bit more popular now with Kibler's latest incarnation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that kind of deck. Well, it's a kind of deck like Joseph plays, the Mono Red Blitz deck, where if your metagame is heavy into something else...
You don't bring your Pillars of Flames and your Searing Spears.
If there's no trickery in your sideboard, So looking at Justin's hand, he will be on the play here in the Decider. Looks like he's got a fair number of lands, and I think he's got a Thundermaw. I see a Domri as well. I think he has a possibility here of a turn 2 Domri.
He's on the play?
Yep.
That's what it is.
Turn 1 Arbor Elf.
We need a mountain. We got Noble again.
Vickers, a little bit better than Noble, actually. And here comes the Domri.
Domri's going to go from 4 to 2 quickly.
He's going to shock himself. Well, what's interesting, he may not want to play the Domri at this point because he may not be willing to trade it for, a burn spell and an attack from the Cackler. He plays an Elvish Mystic.
Tab stomping around into Mystic.
I think that's an interesting line to play. I'm fine with it. He's just conserving his life total and trying to play.
So do you double jump here?
No. I think he has a Thundermaw in his hand.
Well, now that Vickers played a second land, that's obviously not a line you want to do.
Arc Trail? Nope.
Volcanic Strength. Thanks for the stomping ground.
Get in for 4. So Vickers draws first blood.
Holding back the Domri.
I may have misread his hand. He may not have a Domri. He may have a Thundermaw. I know he has a Fog in his hand, which is a sideboard card that both of these decks are playing.
You can cast Thundermaw off the double red from Arbor Elf.
Well, he's got a Volcanic Strength. I think I read that Volcanic Strength as a Thundermaw. You do not want to put Volcanic Strength on an Arbor Elf. That is not the way in which you will win this game.
He's on a 5-turn clock unless he has mortars. If we got Thundermaw, I like Thundermaw here and untap Domri. Fight the Cackler, swing again.
He clearly doesn't have a Thundermaw, I don't think, because he would have slammed that out, I'm pretty sure. Oh, we're going to pump fake on that Forest.
He is,
There's a Forest, a Fog, Volcanic Strength, and a card I cannot make out.
He has the Fog. Wonder if Vickers has the Skullcrack.
So he is going to load up and just race with
Jam
Vickers.
for 4.
Yep. Does Fog Reach prevent all combat damage, right?
Yes.
He's deciding not to pull the trigger here. Knocking.
The Skullcrack is the counterspell to that. That
looks like a Boros Reckoner coming.
Yeah.
Here's the Reckoner.
Barely never.
Please don't do that. Reckoner Barely Never is my new Cup Island.
conveniently Joe plays with.
That is my least favorite magic slang. Reckoner, I barely know her. Although I do like that. No, he does have a Thunder Maw. Is there a possibility that Justin doesn't realize he can cast the Thunder Maw?
There's a very good possibility.
Because we have mentioned in the past that Justin just getting back into Standard. I don't know if he sees the interaction between the...
Fog.
I don't know if he sees the interaction between the... Oh yeah, Justin just cast Fog and immediately moved to his turn. Vickers deciding if he wants to... Well, so the Fog resolves, he's deciding if he wants to cast the Scavenging Ooze, which he does cast.
With one up.
Nothing
but
to
no
eat.
creatures in the graveyard.
So this, that Fog pretty huge. This Thunder Maw, even bigger. It's clear it has to be that he doesn't realize he can untap that Stomping Ground. Because if that seems to be the card he's had in his hand all along, he could have cast that on turn 3.
Yes.
And there's no situation in which he wouldn't just do that. Because Vickers' deck cannot beat that card.
Well, he has the double right now. He has... Oh, no, he doesn't. That's just 2 4s in the Stomping Ground.
Yep.
Do we pump with the Kessig? No.
Oh, how brutal is that he knows he can untap that forest, but... And he's doing it at sorcery speed, too, which is telegraphing a Fog, which he appears to have drawn again. So he pumped for 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dropping Vickers to 6. Yep, they're sorting out life totals there.
Eat your Fog, just in case you draw an Eternal Witness.
He might be splashing blue for Snapcaster. Or it might be being Root Chanter's Pike. Do you think Adam is splashing for Elder Scale Worm?
Yes.
Can Adam afford to attack here? Oh, Justin drawing his entire sideboard.
Skull cracking, come on. Damage can't be prevented.
I mean, sometimes you draw your sideboard, and that happens. What he needs to do here is kill that Mountain Walk. There's some argument to be made for... it's very clear that when Justin untaps his land at sorcery speed, that he has the Fog. He's drawn another Fog. In which case, I don't know if I attack with the Boros Reckoner. I think you attack with the Ooze.
You make me have it.
Which is more brutal, if Justin wins this game despite not knowing he could cast his Thunder Maw, or if Justin wins this game without having cast that Thunder Maw? Which is the more frustrating of events?
Well, he can't cast it now. If you're down to 3.
I think he's deciding if he wants to pump here. He could pump and put him down to 1. Then die on the way back, right?
Right.
Isn't he just dead on the way back anyway?
The Ooze is still 2/2. That's 2, 3, 6.
Well, he's going to make it a 3 this turn.
From what?
The Arbor Elf is in the yard.
No, the Arbor Elf is pillared.
Oh, pillared. Nombo.
Front hoof boar post.
Alright, so he's going to play Flint Hoof Boar, not give it haste, and attack for 3, putting Vickers down to 3. And then Vickers kills him on the way back. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's going to block the, he's going to block the 2, so that's down to 8, so he can survive at 4, and then Adam's going to need 4 points of burn to get him on the way back.
If he doesn't have a way to kill the elf, then he's just dead.
Someone in the chat, Mental Magic, suggesting that you go out with a poster made from glitter, letting him know the Stomping Ground is a forest. I appreciate the specificity of that request.
But it's also, like, not feasible because you want a poster made of cardboard with glitter on it.
What about a poster that's made from Gary Glitter? Do you know who Gary Glitter is?
No, but
He did the infamous Rock and Roll Part 3. Are you familiar with that song?
No. Oh, okay.
He was also arrested for child pornography like 10 years ago. That's got to be enough, right?
Oh, he drew a Hellrider.
Yeah, that's more than enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off triggers. Putting Justin to 7.
We have the third fog.
If we had the third fog, it would be the most brutal thing. And also, I'm not looking forward to this. Don't worry, Paper Dinosaur in the chat's backing me up on the. It's Rock and Roll Part 2, not Rock and Roll Part 3. I apparently misspoke. And now I don't look forward to what I'm going to do, which is step out there, try to find another feature match.
Oh, they showed him.